Welcome, welcome. Peace be unto you. Assalamu alaikum. Namaste. Hotep. Ashe. Hello. I am Felicia Muhammad, your spiritual life and business transformation specialist, and welcome to Power of Oneness. And what we do here at Power of Oneness, it's a movement. So today's focus is insights into you. And so this three-part series that we have been doing is on Do You Know Your Intuitive Gifts with my mentor and friend and special guest, Miss Christel Hughes, multisensory intuitive strategist and spiritual trainer to the stars. She also is founder of Empowering Journeys. And under that umbrella, we have many, many opportunities and ways by which you can experience Christel. And our most recent and exciting endeavor we did with Winter Solstice is Academy for the Soul Radio. Okay, so that's something you definitely want to look into. And before we get started today, I want to just welcome you. And we're going to have Christel, because we are on a tight schedule today, both of us, and I'm sure you all are too, with the new year coming in. So we're going to go deep, we're going to go lovingly hard, and we're going to ascend. Okay, so we're going to be doing live Q&A. We're going to have some conversation. We're going to take some questions. So if this is your first time experiencing us, you can put your question in the chat, or you can feel free to click on the call in and join us in the open seat. All right. And we like to welcome you into the room, all of our guests and those that are watching. And if you have a question, you can put it in the chat /Q, and it will let us know that you have a question. Good afternoon, Angela. Welcome, Vicky. Welcome, True. And everybody that's watching. And so I would like for us to tweet it out and post it on Facebook and share it with your friends. And look at the top and follow everybody. Okay? So, Christel, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in all of this.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. And thank you for having me in this fabulous forum, because it's so exciting watching everything go on and see all of you little icons there. You know, I feel really connected doing this. So this is such a pleasure for me to be here and very exciting. So, you know, if you see my eyes light up, that's what it is, because I can just feel you even more than when I'm on a phone. So, you know, I have to say, for me, this whole process of awakening and opening, you know, it has been a variation of things. You know, you've heard my story, if you were there in the beginning, about the lightning bolt experience and really having that sense of going into almost an alternate universe reality, only because I was able to open up all my gifts at once. I had gifts open up before that, but it was mainly that either it was just my clairaudience, I was getting the buzz in my right ear, or it was just my clairvoyance, where I could put my hands on someone's chakras and see what was going on with their life, and particularly what was related to that chakra. And then all of a sudden, everything opened at once, and that's when I could see a person's higher self. And you can imagine the shock, but the kind of excitement and fascination at the same time, where I had been praying, I had been doing my, you know, connecting practices, my grounding every day, tuning in with my guides, asking for the information, asking for the intuitive abilities. And one of the most, I guess, the most exciting things that has occurred is that when I had the opening, when I could see, I was able to then really support someone in such a deeper level. Because I started out as a clinical hypnotherapist, a behaviorist. I trained under Dr. John Kappas from Southern California Behavioral Science Center, and I went in very deep. So for years I was doing that. And then to be able to have this extra sensory ability, it allowed for a deeper level and a layer that I could pull off the clients. I could go deep very fast, very quickly. I mean, literally within seconds to minutes, I was getting to the exact point of pain, whether that was in this lifetime in the womb, genealogical, maternal or paternal, right? Mother's or father's ancestral lineage, or whether that was in past life. And so now as this journey has taken me down this path of recognizing that I channel a minimum of 6 hours a day. So imagine how open, as that truth begins to come through you, little by little, the gates, these intuitive gates open up. And when I'm talking about the intuitive gates, I'm talking about your clairvoyance, your clairsentient, your clairgnostic, and your clairaudient. So we're looking at how the channels of energy come through you, right? Or excuse me, how the energy is channeled through you, and how you are open or closed. And then we're looking at specifically, how are you wired? Does your clairaudience come before your clairvoyance? Does your clairsentient come before your clairgnostic? In other words, do you sense and feel before you know? These are the things that are important. These are the things that I work on. I go deep and I look in, and I have observed hundreds of people. And, well, it's been thousands now, but I mean, in the Academy for the Soul, hundreds of people have come through where I have supported them specifically in understanding this. So they know what it's like. Are they really hearing their higher self? And is that the information from their higher self? Or is it information from their lower self? So that's what I do.
Okay. All right. Very good. So then let me ask you a question, because we are going into 2016. And I mean, I just have to be transparent and say that, you know, I don't get all excited about the New Year's resolutions and all of that, because, you know, I want to be able to create on demand, you know? Yes, be able to create on demand and not have to wait till a new year when it's actually cold in most states in the United States, where everything is dead, you know, to begin something new. You know, however, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I want to ask you a question about how important is it for us to be able to stop struggling with our old identity and move into the new you, which is the true you, in each moment,
Yes, well, that's where it's at. And I was going to talk about a little bit about the leaning back, right? So energetically, we have to lean back into the divine. We're so always leaning forward. We want to know what's going to happen in the future. What's going to happen in the future? We literally are leaning forward into our life, and we're leaning into that future timeline instead of leaning back and creating that. When we relax into our body, when we give up the creations.
Okay.
Now this is going to sound interesting, right? Because for me, I fuel creations and then I lean back. My leaning forward is fueling a creation.
Okay.
Okay. So I want everyone to think about this. In being your higher self and living as your higher self, you have to identify your persona agendas. In other words, what do you think that thing is going to gift you? And I'm not talking about, because some of you are right there at that level of you are ready to be of service 100% to the universe. And you're saying, okay, God, use me. I'm going to be this vessel. But then you click into something else to manifest. You click into a persona where you think you have to force energy, and then you are fueling that creation with that agenda, with that forced energy. That's not how it works. So if you all imagine that you are connected to all things and that you have this beautiful golden grid through you that connects you to all things. And imagine that you have your creation in whatever form or symbol in front of you. Okay? Now what you want to do is you want to fuel that symbol or that orb or sphere or whatever it is. You want to fuel that with the energies that the divine is calling forth from you. In other words, how are you experiencing the divine through you such that that energy goes into that orb? Okay? Now, I know I'm messing with your brain right now because you're trying to figure out what I just said, but that's what I meant to do. Because we've got to shift the critical mind. We've got to break down that critical, logical mind. And we have to say, whoa, if I'm really a vessel, then how does that happen?
Mm-hmm.
Not, oh, I'm a vessel and expect to be that. How it happens, how you become a vessel, is that you lean back, close your eyes, get grounded, connected to that grid. You have your creation in front of you, and you literally ask, what is the experience that others want to experience when they come in contact with that creation? It's not about you. It's about what is the experience others are going to have when they meet that creation, when they connect with that creation. So if you're wanting a new home, or just a home, but, because I lived in Southern California for a long time and we didn't have homes. We just moved around from place to place to place, right? But if you're saying, I want a new home, God, I'm going to use this home. It's going to be a retreat for people. I'm going to bring people in. I'm going to feed them. I'm going to nurture them. This is where I'm going to create from. You imagine that home and you ask the universe, what does it want? What's the vibrational frequency such that people, when they come in contact with that entity of their home, what are they going to experience? And so maybe it comes through love. I want, to experience love myself in that home, but universe, love wants to be present in that home. And so you get connected to your heart. And as your higher self, this is you acting as your higher self. You've lost your lower self agendas. You've lost your personas of, I want that house and I want to decorate it and I want it to be beautiful and people are going to come over and da-da-da-da-da. All that stuff. No. What wants to be experienced in that home, and what does that entity as home want to offer? Because your home is a being. It's alive. Every single thing is alive. What does that want to experience with people coming into it? What does the universe want to gift through people coming in contact with that being? Okay? So you start fueling from your heart through the grid right into that beautiful home. And you start to imagine that, okay, now that home becomes very real because the vibrational frequencies are now being infused into it. And guess what happens? When you're your higher self and you create in that way, what started out in the ethers gains force, it gains momentum, it gains potential, and it gains substance. And the substance that is coming into it is you fueling that creation. The substance actually gets heavier and heavier and heavier. The more that you infuse it, the heavier it gets. And then it descends into our world and actualizes. That's how creation works. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah. So from the ethers, you're literally infusing that. And guess what? You can infuse yourself. You are a being. You are an entity. So as your higher self, what are you infusing in yourself?
That's the question. That is the question. Okay, so Rocksteady says, give it to me, baby. Rocksteady says, thanks for sharing. And the higher self hears the alarm clock. The higher self hears the alarm clock. Okay, so now I see you, Rocksteady. When we begin to awaken to our higher self, you do this, you're able to help us by providing the service of intuitive assessments, right?
That's the beginning.
That's the beginning,
right?
Okay.
Because again, when you have to consider yourself, you are energetic, and you have an energetic constitution. Okay, just like some people are, allergic to gluten, and other people aren't. It's because they have a different makeup. They process differently. Well, it's the same thing with us. We have a different way of taking in the energy and running it through our bodies and digesting it to come out with something else, right? It's like, okay, what does that mean to one person, and what does it mean to the person sitting right next to you? You can have, that scene, and you can have different perspectives. You can have many, many different perspectives. We each channel energy through our bodies in a unique way. And that's just the way that I've seen it. Energetically, I can be listening to you or watching you do a reading or coaching on someone else, and I can tell you specifically how you channeled that energy through your body in order to come up with the conclusion or the advice to tell that person. Because I'm tracing the energy through your body. Did it come through from your clairgnostic ability or from your feeling tone ability? Where did that information come from? And that information is light of truth. Information is light. You see? So we're channeling light through our being, through our body. And what happens is we have, it's kind of like the pinball machine, where ding, 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 right? It hits all those little, and then bounces off and hits another thing. So energetically, we're looking at the light of truth coming through your being. Where it hits is on the barriers that you have, the blockages that you have. That's what's going on. One, you have to first know what to look for, listen for, sense. And then you have to know when the light of truth hits a barrier within you so that you can then shift that. Okay? Okay. So otherwise, it's not going to fully land. When we get an intuitive hit, we just know it's right. We don't question it. But that had to land in your being, right? You got a hit. It landed. You knew. You felt it. Something happened. You heard something, right? And so it doesn't hit you or it doesn't land in you if that little pinball, it gets, has to hit a bunch of barriers on the way to getting to you. So what we see is that these barriers are personas, they're aspects of us that have fractured off from the divine, that are an accumulation of emotional energy. So if you imagine a container and imagine stuffing it with anger, and then imagine it sitting so long that it actually calcifies into hardened little crystals. And now you got to go in and you got to take that out and you got to do something with that suppressed anger. Because that suppressed anger now has a belief that it can't trust people. And maybe it can't even trust the divine because everybody the divine has sent to it has hurt it or harmed it or broken its heart.
Wow.
Okay? So we have to get those calcified, containers within us that are personas. They're aspects of us that are acting out. Okay?
Okay. And it doesn't have to take long to do that, right?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
I mean, the cool thing is that, in looking back at just some of the examples, people that have gone through the academy. And it's very interesting to see how they, came in and they were interested in it. And then they said, but I can't do that. I can't read people. I don't know that. I don't know. And pretty soon it was like, hey, your special assignment from the divine is to read someone's beautiful, divine, elemental spirit. So instead of reading a guide, they read the elemental spirit, the fairy spirit that's around that person. So what do? Well, I throw them in the hot seat and I have them practice at the higher levels. That's what we do, right? And pretty soon the information is coming through. Why? Because we put them in a context. We had everything we needed in that context, in that structure, to actually support them breaking through their critical mind that said, I can't, oh no, I can't do that, I can't do that. Pretty soon, they're around a loving group of people, and they're being put in that hot seat to read. And when they are, because we've lovingly already worked with their masculine and feminine and gotten that balance down, all of a sudden they're reading. And then they're just as surprised as everyone else in the group. But that's the beginning. You have to have a beautiful community that creates the context and the structure that will allow you to blossom. And we have to be really cautious with that, because we're not talking about just putting you in front of someone and saying, hey, close your eyes and try to be intuitive. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about really taking you through step by step, managing the energy so that your masculine is actually supporting your feminine intuitive side in the first place. Because you may think he is, but he's not.
Okay.
He's putting pressure on her. He's trying to make her perform. You see? And that's not what we're wanting. We want to have your masculine, just like in a masculine-feminine relationship. It doesn't matter, you know, gender specific. I'm talking about whoever's the masculine in that relationship, whoever's the primary feminine in that relationship. Again, you know, referring back.
Right.
We are focusing on building a beautiful, loving structure that honors each other. And from that place, then you can start practicing. Then you can push the boundaries. Okay?
Okay, good. Well, let's, okay, so before we do any of the readings, let me say this for those that are listening and that are interested in joining us in the seat, please make sure that you have ear pods or earbuds or earphones on so we don't get the feedback, okay? And so for those of you who are interested in a reading and you don't want to take the hot seat, you can put your question by putting it /Q in the chat, and it will let me know that you have a question, and we will have Christel do your mini intuitive assessment and a reading for you, okay? So you shared a lot. So
nothing like going deep right at the get-go.
Exactly.
I mean, thank God this is the third one, so if you've listened to the first two, you're okay.
You're okay, exactly.
Yeah, you're okay, you're okay.
Yeah. Welcome, Kara Isaacs. Welcome back. So we have a question from Vicki Washburn. So for those of you who would like a mini intuitive assessment, you can join us on the seat. Just click the call in and we'll bring you on in to get your mini assessment and question and answer from Christel. And in the meantime, we are going to, yes, Rocksteady, you can join. Okay, Rocksteady and Angela.
I mean, rock steady. You just want to be dancing, right?
I know, right?
Rock.
Yeah.
So, Rocksteady,
What's
welcome.
up, ladies? Great morning.
What's
up?
Good
morning. What's up? Oh my goodness, Angela.
Hi, don't say anything.
Okay, so Angela, I'm gonna put you on mute real quick, and then Rocksteady, go ahead. Would you like a mini intuitive assessment, or do you have a question for Christel?
Oh, I would like for her to intuitively give me everything that she could give me.
Okay, it's a lot. Okay, I think we have a few minutes. All right, so I'm going to connect in with your higher self, and that's how I do the actual reading, okay? So let's go ahead now. I'm just going to tune in with your higher self. So looking at your higher self is actually coming all the way down into your heart, right? When we're looking at how we are evolving into our higher self and the ascension is actually the descension, right, of higher self coming into the body. Okay, so yours is down to your heart. So what you're doing is with purity of heart, right? It's not just from the throat. It's not just you talking. It's actually coming from the heart. So in seeing yours, you have a midnight blue and a deep purple energy to your higher self. And when we look at how you're flowing energy, the energy is primarily masculine. You do have feminine. Masculine functions at about 65 to 70%. So you have around 35% with your feminine. Your masculine energy actually wants to be acknowledged, okay? So the masculine, you have to watch the lower side of that, because you have to make sure and double check. If you're doing anything, is it to be acknowledged, or is it actually coming from the heart? So that will help guide and direct you. Be sure to ask that question, okay? Is this coming from a need to be acknowledged, Or is this coming from my heart? And when you do what you need to do as an offering from your heart, you will be acknowledged. Okay?
Love it.
All right. So let's look at how you flow energy. So actually, your preferred sensory system is clairsentient. You are an empath. You are a highly sensitive person. You feel things, okay? And you feel things first and foremost. Now, what I'm seeing is some of the things that you have felt in the past, you actually picked up from your parents, and that it still needs to be cleared out. So for everyone right now, if I can take just a minute, let's just go ahead, everybody, close your eyes and just imagine sending all of your parents' stuff, and if you have any siblings, send it back to them with love, okay? But move their energy out of your body, send it back to them, and now you claim your space. Sometimes when we're really young in the beginning, even in the womb, we take on mom's energy, right? Because we don't know how to set that boundary even in the womb. So we're soaking up like that little sponge. You have to eventually get to that point at around 9 years old where you claim your space. You have your own aura, and you're saying, this is my space. No one else can come in here, okay? Only the divine light gets to come into your aura. Everyone else can hang out on the outer edges, okay? And it's important for you because as an empath, anyone that you're interacting with, that you're working with, you just have to make sure that you're shining the light outwardly. If everyone were to just channel that energy of light into their body and imagine it filling up their energetic space, we wouldn't have any issues with psychic attacks and, you know, all of those kind of crazy things. So, or being overloaded or overwhelmed or taking people on into our aura or in our bodies, okay? So for you, you're primarily clairsentient, then you're clairgnostic. So you feel and then you know. Okay, so everything you're doing is, again, feeling into it and then asking, is this something that I'm supposed to take action on now, take action on later, or am I supposed to just know it? Okay, if you're supposed to just know something about the feeling, then what you're going to do is you're going to ask, what is there to know about this feeling? Give me more information. What am I to know? Okay, so that instantly sets you up. Feel first. Do you act on it? Know by asking, what am I to know about this? Okay, so those are your questions, and that's how you flow that energy. Now, in your third eye, you know, we're looking at the clairvoyance. That's going to be activated probably within the next couple months, even to about 6 months, okay? And what's happening is you have an upgrade that's occurring, and it just means that you're actually trusted more by the universe to bring in the visuals that go along with that, okay? So again, I think this is because there's the next level of using your masculine in that real heart-centered way. The universe is saying, okay, we're going to bring more information through you because we want you to use that in a way that's going to serve. Okay, so you're up-leveling that. Now let's look at your special gifts, okay? So we want to look at your special gifts. So you actually do have animal communication through the back of your throat chakra. And what we're looking at is a communication with horses. You have communication with horses, okay? So with that, I know, interesting, I didn't know, I have a little, story. I had no idea that I had communication with horses as one of my things, right? I go and visit my cousins, and they have a horse, right. And they said, hey, would you tune in to my horse? And I said, well, okay, I don't know if I'll get anything. And so the horse was acting out, and it was really uncomfortable, I could tell, and it had to do with the food that it was being fed. So they were mixing two types of feed together. And so that's what came to me. As soon as they cleared that out and only had one type of feed, the horse was better, right? So, for you, you have this ability. So the horses are number one, but that doesn't mean that you can't connect and communicate with other animals, dogs and cats, all right? So that's what I'm seeing for you. So you have animal communication, angelic communication, Archangel Metatron. You are on the forefront. You actually can set trends, and that's because with working with Archangel Michael's about what new consciousness are we needing to bring in? What new thought are we needing to bring in? Okay, so Archangel Metatron is who you work with. I see Archangel Michael to your back, kind of right side, and so holding space. You do really well with holding space for global movements to occur. Okay, so there you go. How'd you like it?
Oh, it's so accurate. I hold seminars, praying to Archangel Michael and translating through Metatron, and then I also
awesome.
I own 2 horses and I love them to death, and I get along with almost every single
dog
out there, and there is major movement in my life about global movement. I'm an inspirational hip hop artist, and I've been able to tap into over 40,000 people from around the world, and I've toured.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, you're on point. I appreciate your light, and I appreciate your gifts, and thank you for sharing with the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rocksteady. Thank you. So I'm gonna
I've
go ahead.
connected with both of y'all, and I just I want to reach out to y'all. If there's any way I can serve y'all, let me know.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, we will let you know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Much love. Peace. Yes.
So cool.
Oh, that is cool. Yes, Angela.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm well.
Are you awake?
I am.
Oh, good.
Okay. So would you like a mini intuitive assessment today?
Let's go for it.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to connect in to your higher self. All right, Angela. So tuning in. So your energy comes all the way down and it starts hitting the sacral chakra. Okay. So when we're looking at that descension, the sacral chakra, again, co-creation, we're looking at the prosperity consciousness coming in, and we're looking at the lineage. So you have a lineage, you have incarnated with a lineage already that works directly with creation, okay? So what I was talking about earlier with infusing the creation prior to it manifesting, absolutely you can do that at such a high level. It's like in your DNA to do that, okay? So you can serve people working directly with their higher selves. So looking at the way that you flow energy and looking at your point of perception, that primary point of perception, you have masculine and feminine. You're a 50-50. Okay, so your masculine is functioning 50%, feminine functioning at 50%. What you have to work on is making sure that you're not overloaded by the amount of information coming in at one time. You have to learn to bring that in as little puzzle pieces, okay? So again, I tell all the 50-50s, I'm a 50-50. You're wired to be a multisensory intuitive. We just have to make sure that you can focus in at any given time on each of your clairs, okay? So when we look at your way of flowing energy in the preferred sensory system, you are across the board. So you have this, and let me just check to see if there's one that comes through first. So again, clairsentient, clairvoyant, clairgnostic, clairaudient, okay? Clairsentient, clairvoyant, clairgnostic, clairaudient. That's how you flow, but again, these are so close together that it's kind of difficult. You have to hone in your skills. So focus in on one first, really get a sense, no pun intended with your clairsentience being first, get a sense of what that feels like. So you're going to know when that truth flows through you. Acknowledge that and know that as you're feeling whatever truth feels like in your body, so if that truth feels like an opening of your power center, note that. If it feels like it's untruth and it's the closing of the power center, note that. You're going to be putting together all of these, like a detective, all of these different symbols and experiences and feeling tones all in one to make a puzzle. You don't bring the answer to someone when you're connecting with them until you have all the pieces to the puzzle, okay? Now you'll get faster and faster at bringing the puzzle pieces together. So for me, when I'm doing a reading, I have everything simultaneously coming in, but I've learned how to bring that into the story. All the puzzle pieces come together, and my being actually arranges that and translates it and offers it up. That's what you're going to be doing. Part of your special gift is actually translating for people's higher selves. Very similar to what I'm doing. So you can tune in and you can bring that information together and deliver it very quickly. Okay? Now, looking at the way that you flow energy, you're primarily a vertical. So we look at verticals. Now, verticals are the ones that download. They're the channels. They bring that energy in and they channel that energy. As the horizontal, you actually want to have other people coming in to be your horizontal for you. They're going to take that information out to the world, or they're going to have you on the platform. Now, with that, I keep hearing also dance for you. Do you have any history in dance, or is it something that enlivens your body? Why would I be hearing dance for you?
I love on the weekends to go dancing. I feel free. It definitely sets me free.
Okay, got it. Now, so with the dance energy, I want you to begin to dance your creations into being, okay? Whatever you're wanting to manifest, I want you to bring that energy of dance into it, dance, movement, and this is all, this is all from history for you. I mean, you're an ancient being that's present here, that's incarnated in this lifetime. That's really what's happening. And so as I look at you and I see energetically the energy flowing through your body, it comes to life and it sparks creative force when you're in dance, okay? So it's beautiful to have that freedom of expression and that movement and the letting go. But I want you also to intend that you're going to dance your creation into being. Set that intention, okay, with you. Now, in looking at this, you actually are connected to the elementals, and the elementals are the devas, okay? So in looking at your connection to the devas, again, it's all about bringing manifestation into this creative realm. Okay, so we're looking at the devas. These are the beings that actually support the earth. They support the planet, right? Everything that's created within this realm affects this planet, okay? So you very much are connected in to the earth. And the elements that you use primarily are earth, water, wind, and fire, okay? Earth, water, wind, and fire. So you have a little bit of alchemist within you as well, taking things from one, and turning them into another form, right? One form into another form. Okay? All right. Beautiful.
Yay!
Yeah. Wow. Hello, ancient being. Welcome, and thank you for for being here.
I love when I had a very long morning, so if it looks like that I'm sleepy, I'm not sleepy. Your energy is very, very. I'm going into a trance, and I'm trying to keep from doing that.
I understand. Yeah.
So.
Well, you're a wisdom keeper, so you are a holder of wisdom. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to channel that wisdom through you. Make sure that you're writing it down or you're speaking it out, because you actually are a wisdom keeper. So when the person comes, you're meant to deliver that wisdom. And of course, you can always ask, is this the right time? Is this the right person? But when you get the prompting and you feel that inner prompting, be sure to share that information, okay? Because you have that energy of the wisdom coming through you. Yeah.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you so much.
So for everybody that's watching, I put in, thank you, Angela. I put in the chat, because we are on limited time today, so you may not be able to get your live reading, but we're going to be doing this again. All right. Okay. And I put how you can work with Christel, moving forward. So the link is available. And please tweet it out and post this to your friends. Okay, so
Hi,
next we
Vicky.
have Miss
I
Vicky Washburn. And
see
then
Hi.
you.
Took me a minute. I didn't realize my camera was turned off. So
yes. So would you like a mini reading, mini intuitive assessment?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Let me see. What did I do with my
Okay.
little thing here? Sorry.
And I know you had a question too. I do see your question, but you know, I just want to make sure what you wanted right now.
Okay, so
Okay.
Vicky, I'm just going to go ahead and tune in with your higher self. So your higher self comes through as orange, beautiful wings coming up and out, coming in to right at the top of your power center. So what we're looking at is now it's about time to like step into the next version of you energetically with your power. And as you open and surrender to that, release any kind of inner conflict. If you have like a part of me wants to do this and a part of me wants to do that, those are two sides battling against each other. We need to make sure that you're fully on board. So you'll need to do a little work if that's the case. Your power center is it's almost like it's, oh, feed me, I'm going to blossom open like a beautiful flower, right? When you're watering that flower, okay, there it goes, it's going to blossom open. But that light of truth coming in wants to come in to warm you up and to support that blossoming open. You are being nurtured. I see the light coming in, but I do see again this little inner battle between you. You want to be open and more receptive. If you have any kind of beliefs around receptivity, you want to make sure that you check on that, and ancestral issues, okay, with that. Now let's check to see here. Your primary point of perception is masculine and feminine. Your masculine is about 55 to 60%. And your feminine makes up the difference with that, okay? And so we're looking at your masculine. You love to be inspired. You want to go deeper into a topic. You like to learn what is there about this, and you like to be inspired in that way by diving deep into things, okay? So your masculine's going to take you down that path of diving deeper. Now your feminine has to be able to have time to actually comment on what you've learned. So if you're reading a book, let's say, read the first chapter and then do some meditation, connect in, go for a walk in nature. Your feminine's going to start to download information to you about what you just read, okay, or what you just heard, all right? Now, looking at your preferred sensory system, you're clairgnostic, clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient. So first you're in the knowing of things, and then you get a flash, okay? What I see for you is I get a flash, and usually they're bringing up some kind of memory for you. So you may think it's just a memory, but you're in the knowing. When you get that flash of a memory, a past situation, feel into the energy of that memory, because that's going to be the clue for you to understand fully, okay? So that's how you're going to work. So when you're in the knowing and you get that hit of information, start to ask, okay, what are the visuals that go with this, okay? Because that question is going to bring about more of your clairvoyance. And again, you're going to be able to identify if there's any steps that you need to take, okay? All right, now energy flow for you, you are vertical and horizontal. Now your horizontal, I see, is coming out more. Your horizontal is probably about 3 feet in front of you. Now remember, these are columns in your being, and these are symbolic for the way you're supposed to interact with the world. Verticals are more introverted, horizontals go external, okay? So with the external and the horizontal going out now, we're looking at you touching more people, reaching more people. You're vertical and horizontal, so bringing that information in the knowing sense, and then being able to deliver on that. Now, going into special gifts for you, we do have a lot of work with, it looks like different energies of light, okay? So you run these energies through your body. It literally looks like a rainbow energy coming through you. And as you bring these energies through your body, you reflect them out. It's almost like you are a crystal. right? And you're reflecting, and it's like based on the facets that you have, you reflect in different ways. So you are this beautiful divine reflector for people. When people come to you, it's almost seeing the reflection immediately. Now, this triggers some people sometimes. They don't want to have the reflection all the time, but you naturally do it. Your archetypes are as healer, counselor, therapist, okay? Now you work with the fairies, you work with the sprites, the nymphs. This is your world. These beings that can support the interaction of humans with the planet and also honoring the planet. Okay?
Okay.
All right. How was that?
Actually, that's very interesting because my business is being a healer.
Okay.
That's one of my businesses, and I'm just beginning to grow that business. I'm just kind of coming into that aspect of myself, and so that's very interesting.
Well, I've never seen a rainbow beam of light come through someone before. Wow. You know, I've used them in visualizations, but I've never just observed. It was like a beautiful rainbow of energy coming through your crown chakra, and then you just moving that energy out and around and about you. And I don't think you had to do anything. It's not like you have to do anything. It naturally comes through. So, and you're a reflector, so people will come to you for advice, but really you just have to be there present for them. They're going to come to their own conclusions. Yeah.
How about that? Yay, Vicky. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Okay. Michael, how you doing there?
Hi, Michael.
I'm incredible.
Thank you. Well. So are we going to do a reading for you? Do you have a specific question, or do you want to have a mini intuitive assessment? Well, let me do the mini intuitive assessment. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead. So I'm going to just connect in, looking into your energy field and looking and connecting with your higher self. So what I'm seeing is I'm actually seeing a beautiful blue energy. I mean, this energy looks like, you know, like a beautiful, those oceans that you can see through the water. You know it's blue, but it's so clear. That's the energy, and the energy is coming down, comes all the way down through your heart. Again, it comes about halfway through your power center. Now, what we're seeing for you is part of your perception, being masculine and feminine. You actually are able to traverse the dimensions. You're an interdimensional traveler. Now, that may sound a little, whoa, what is that? But really what that means is that you bring wisdom from higher dimensions and connections down into this world so that other people can recognize the truth of themselves as well. You are definitely a channel. So when I look at your special gifts, as a channel, with your ability to traverse the realms and to connect in with the energies of other dimensions, what you have to understand is that you have the ability to create no time and space reality for people. This is very important because when they're with you, right, you can bring them in and kind of entrain them to a place where all of their worries fall away. They begin to relax. They don't feel the pressure that time would bring. Okay? Now, when someone's in that relaxed state, you probably heard me earlier, they lean back, they can now receive, and now with that, they can create from that space. So energetically, you are a transmitter, okay? You're here to, and this, you traverse these realms mostly when you're sleeping. It's not that you can't do it when you're awake, but you don't want to check out from life, right? You want to be present. But you bring the energies in the interdimensional realms through your body, and it comes through your power center, but it's actually the hara point. It's right behind your belly button, okay? And that's how you bring the energy through. So you're really meant to be a vertical. And with the vertical, again, you're downloading the information. You entrain people to a space. You bring the wisdom and the knowledge from these higher realms. How do we function without time pressure on us? How do we function without this idea that things are separate, and that space is over there and this space is over here? You start to dissolve the mindset of separation consciousness, and you actually bring forth a level of unity consciousness, living from your heart, living in harmony. What does that mean? So you bring that to people. That's your gift.
Okay, no, I'm a perfectionist.
You're connecting what? You're a speaker? Okay.
Speaker.
All right.
You're a speaker. Okay.
Okay. Well, now you need to also have someone else because you're primarily vertical. So just make sure you take care of yourself when you're doing the speaking, okay? Because you're primarily vertical, which is downloading that information. We do want you out there in the world because obviously as a transmitter, okay, you're going to be transmitting in that space, and you're going to be dissolving people's fears, tension, tightness, things that are limiting things. You know, most people that you would reach are people that think they have limitations, and you need to help support, reduce the limitations, or their mind thinking that they're limited in any way. Okay, good.
Now, I do have one question.
Your love life. Oh, well, let me just check to see. I'm going to put you on the grid. Well, there is somebody that you already know. And I'm seeing this person already knowing you. I see her about arm reach away. So it's not someone that you haven't met before. It's someone that you have met before. But she is a little bit of a distance from you. Okay? So let me just check to see. So we're looking at, gosh, it's hard for me to tell you time, but I see this energy probably shifting within you within the next year. Okay, so you've got to be open to somebody that you already know, and within the next year making contact. Okay? Huh?
Like tomorrow?
Oh, I didn't understand you. Are you understanding,
tomorrow?
I didn't get it either. Sorry.
Oh, shoot.
Tomorrow?
No, tomorrow? You saying tomorrow?
Well, hey, with you being able to clear space and time, you can probably bend time and just bring her in tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That's sweet.
Thank you. Christel, before we go to the next one, because we're winding down on time, for those that like to work with Christel, you can go to Awakening. Awaken to Your Higher Self is the offer that you will be able to participate in with the mini intuitive assessment if you're not able to get one today. But you get a full one. You get a full one today, okay? Because what I want to do, Sanji is back, and we didn't get her last time. So before we go to Travita, I wanted to see if you can do Sanji.
Yes. So you guys, these are tiny little bits of the intuitive assessment. So you can get a full intuitive assessment. It's 30 minutes long, and I go through the entire thing, and we really go in deep because I'm working with you or a small group. You still get 30 minutes, and you get to hear everyone else's. But the beauty of this is that I get to go deeper and see what are the blockages that you might have in the way of what you're wanting to achieve. And we get very specific with how those gifts are going to be used in the world, or that next step that you need to take, okay? So just so you know. All right. Okay, so tell me again, who are we looking at?
We're looking at Songsi.
Okay.
Songsi.
So I'm just going to tune in, connect in, and let me get my little page up here. All right. So connecting in with your higher self. This is a beautiful green energy. Your higher self is a green energy. There's some orange on the tips. of your higher self energy. That energy is coming in and descended down. It is in the power center energy, but it comes in as a V. Okay, so it's not fully embodied within the power center, but it's touching that power center. Okay, so for you, you have a bigger energy that wants to come out. There is a little bit of this, you know, trying to conform to this world for you. You know, I mean, I'm even seeing you energetically trying to get inside your body, and you're like, you don't want to be trapped. You feel like there's a, you know, this with commitment, there's some kind of trap with that, okay? And you don't want to be trapped in the body, you don't want to be trapped. And so, you know, the energy is big, but you have to allow your energy to come into your body, then you can expand it, okay? Then you can go bigger, then your aura can expand, all right? So set that intention. Okay, primary point of perception for you is masculine and feminine. Now, your feminine energy is coming in about 45 to 50%, okay? So you're almost at that 50-50 point. You probably heard me mention earlier with that 50-50 multi-sensory intuitive. So again, you have to be really cautious with how you handle that energy, okay? Because a lot is going to be coming through you, and you have to see how to handle that best. Your feminine can get a little bit overwhelmed and overloaded in thinking that she has to manage all of it. And your masculine says, what do I do with it? Okay. Now, with your preferred sensory system and looking in, you're clairaudient and clairgnostic, clairsentient, then clairvoyant. Clairaudient, I'm seeing you, and I actually see that you have the ability to connect and communicate with people that have crossed over. You are a medium. Your mediumship gate comes out of your throat chakra about probably 2 feet, okay? So with that clairaudient ability, you have to make sure that there's no blockages in the throat channel, okay? And you can control this mediumship gift, okay? But you will be able to communicate with those that are in other realms or that have crossed over, all right? Now, looking at your special gifts beyond being a medium and looking at the special gifts, what we're seeing is we actually see the energy of the mystical. You have a wizard energy, okay? So you connect with the mystical realms and you use the elements. You use the elements across the board. So, you know, using all of that earth, wind, fire, air, the ethers, you can call forth for your manifestations and ask the universe to provide for you. Also with you, you can manifest things, you know, at the last minute. You can bring in the energies to manifest and make things happen at the last minute. In looking at your energy flow, vertical or horizontal, you actually have more of that horizontal wanting to be used, okay? The vertical's coming in, it's kind of dripping down in, but that horizontal wants to come out and be used. You want to support people in raising their consciousness, coming together in a unified field, and being able to then take action, okay? So we are looking at global shift, global movement, and reaching a global audience. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Okay, so we have time for one more, and I just want to thank everybody for joining us today. And you can catch the replay if you missed anything, and you are able to work with Christel, and I did put the link in for Awakening to Your Higher Self and get a full assessment. So now let's go to Travita.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hello, that's me. I'm Heidi, and this is Mark.
Yeah.
Hi, where are you from?
Oh, we're in Italy. I've been living here for 4 years with Heidi, who's been here for
30 years.
maybe 30
Nice.
years. Yeah.
Beautiful. Maybe someday I'll get to come to Italy. That'll be exciting. Yeah.
We have room.
Yes.
Actually, we've already been invited. So.
We have a guest house.
Oh,
you
great.
can come, and it's called Paradiso Integrale.
Ooh.
Yes.
Hmm.
That sounds
Yes.
lovely.
Except for all the work. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So would you guys like a
Yeah, the
minute to an
question-
Well, this would be
assessment?
wonderful. I'm just I'm fascinated by your energy, Christel,
Aw,
and
thank
your
you.
ability to just liven up the screen and fill my head with your lovely voice. That's it.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
So,
Thank
okay.
So I give it to you. She can read you.
Me?
Who knows
Oh.
what comes out then?
Okay, fine.
You're in the receiving mood.
I guess.
Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's just have you state your full name, or not your full name, but your first name out loud again for me.
Mark.
Okay, so Mark, I'm just tuning in with your higher self. Okay, so your higher self is actually coming in as a very warm, glowing energy. It's almost like that yellow, orange, red glow of a fire. You know, when you see the flames? Excuse me. Sorry, after doing this, my throat starts to go a little bit, my voice. So as I see the energy, it comes all the way down to the sacral chakra. So it's coming all the way down to the creative center. And looking at your balance of masculine and feminine, your masculine is coming in at about 60%. Your feminine is about 40%, okay? Now, the energies of your masculine and feminine are fairly unified. They do work together, okay? Sometimes that masculine energy wants to overpower that feminine, but she's very strong. She will not allow that to happen. So if you get determined with something, you actually do have your feminine side coming in and bringing in more of that efficiency. Like you have to rest, you have to relax, you have to take time for these things, okay? So you're about to blossom open to another level, and this is another cycle for you. This is a psychic cycle. The energy coming in, excuse me, the energy coming in with this psychic ability opening up is actually around your heart, okay? So you're being here and being present on the planet and opening your heart is actually serving for nobility to come in. We actually see a new level of understanding, of care, of compassion, of consideration. And when I see you on the grid and I see this lighting up, that's really what your presence brings, okay? So it's bringing us back to a place of heart. It's having us rest inside of our heart, okay? So you always are bringing people back to their heart. It's like you're a chiropractor, but you're energetically bringing people into their heart and aligning them with their heart. When they're around you, they feel the need to actually come to attention, okay? And come to the attention of listening to their heart. Now, with your preferred sensory system and going deeper into how you flow energy, you are actually clairsentient and clairvoyant. So you sense and you feel things. You actually are a part of the environment. You really get attached to the environment, to the land, to the nature spirits. And you feel mostly from that. And then it comes up and you start to feel the person. So what you're doing is when you're feeling into a person, you're actually feeling first into their heart, despite what they say. In fact, you don't listen so much to what a person says, you're actually tuning into what they feel, okay? So if you're not listening to your partner, you know, that's probably what's going on, is that you first feel into the vibrations. You're very much affected by the tone of things, right? You're affected by noise or the tone. You're affected by the rhythm. It's more about how someone says something to you rather than what they're saying to you, okay? So when we look at this, your abilities to be a vertical channel are very high, okay? The energy wants to come in, and I have to tell you, your vertical column is one of the most expansive ones that I've seen. And again, this is your connection with the universe, the way that you flow energy down in through your body and being. This vertical column is coming around 18 inches in diameter. It comes all the way down, and it comes down to your ankles. So we need you to actualize more. And the way that, excuse me, the way that you're going to actualize is by accepting what I'm saying today, okay? We have to have you accepting your gift. You are. You naturally bring people into their hearts, okay? Now, in working with the elementals, you actually work with the gnomes, okay? You work with the earth. Your hands are supposed to be in the earth. So I don't know if you do any kind of work with the earth, gardening, or have your hands in the earth, but you definitely need to be working with the earth. And you also work with wood. So if you were to work with the wood, reclaim wood, carve wood, anything like that would be really good for you. And you have the ability to kind of go into this trance-like state when you're working with the earth and when you're working with wood, okay? You have the ability to communicate with the tree people, okay? And so every tree has consciousness. Every tree has wisdom to download for you. And this is interesting because I've never seen this before. But, you know, there are groves of trees that are of one consciousness. They actually have one consciousness and share that. And I'm seeing you tuning into the consciousness of the trees and being able to bring that wisdom and that consciousness into how we're supposed to relate to the earth, how we're supposed to stay connected to each other and to create that one consciousness as well.
Well, that's quite interesting because we live on an olive farm.
You have olive trees?
Yeah, all kinds, you know, a couple hundred.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Wow.
I can't wait. I want to come visit. You better email me.
Come during harvest time. You could use the help.
And you know what?
Maybe we can make that one of our Academy for the Soul retreats. Come and do
yes.
I love
yes, that would be good. Yes.
Yeah, really do connect because I can help you with the voice problem you have.
Interesting.
Because I'm hearing that you are forcing your voice.
And I am now. We've gone over time.
But you know, that is, you will be much more able to use your voice in a more receptive way, and then you don't overload your vocal cords because it's a little bit not yet the vocal cords, but
you're pushing hard.
Yeah, and then it comes.
Well, I'm actually trying to keep up with the energy as it comes through. The energy is so powerful. I don't know if you can feel that. And I'm trying to keep up with it, and it's like, oh my gosh, it just wants to, because you know, here's the thing: when I do a mini intuitive assessment, it's so hard to do it mini.
Yes.
It's like your higher self is saying, thank God we're getting this information to you, and it just wants to come through. It is so powerful.
You know,
so thank you.
I want to give you an example. For instance, a singer. I'm a singer, and the singer is also want to transmit what the content is, and when they do it in a certain way, at the end, they have no voice anymore. So this is just a way of technique, and you will be able to bring out everything without needing to do, you know? This is, it's just
it's interesting that it came through with you.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
I take it all in.
I see a trade coming up.
I see a trade.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. So beautiful connecting with you. Thank you so much, Christel. I really thank you. So, Experience the Power of Oneness. So grateful for this 3-part series of insights into you. Do you know your intuitive gifts? You can catch the replay. You can also visit us. We put the opportunity for you to work further and deeper with Christel, and you can see the link.
Now you're
and you can see the link to her page. So please, as you see, she's so giving and just flows, just gives from the overflow, and she's like that with everybody all the time. But she knows her boundaries now. So we're going to invite you. Yes, we're going to invite you to work with her, and we will see you next time.
Thank you. So much love.
Yes.
Bye, you guys. Love you.
Experience the power of oneness. Bye bye. Thank you, Christel.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Take care. All right.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay. You can experience us at powerofoneness.com. Thank you for joining this 3-part series of Insights into You. Insights into You. Do you know your intuitive gifts? Visit us at powerofoneness.com. You can catch the replays here on Blab, or you can visit us at www.powerofoneness, POWEROF, the number 1, NESS.com. Thank you so much. And again, in the chat, you can see where you can work with Christel. If you missed any aspect of this today, you can work with Christel's or the 3-part series. You can work with her to Awaken to Your Higher Self. The offer is in the chat. And I'll post it again because this is one opportunity you want to be a part of. Here we go. Awaken to Your Higher Self. Woohoo! Thank you so much, Christel and Blab community. I look forward to continuing to serve and support and collaborate with you. And so just look forward to, we have, tentatively, we have Miss Audrey. She is definitely a student of Miss Christel, Academy for the Soul, and a powerful, powerful, powerful intuitive strategist, medium, and just loving soul. And we also have, inshallah, God willing, Miss Deb Regan, who will help you to be able to connect with your space. Intuitive readings for your space, to see how your spaces support you and what messages they're trying to communicate with you, okay? And that's going to be exciting. Oh, my God. So, all right, thank you. I got to go. I got a class coming up. So I look forward to connecting with you, and I've followed everybody in the room, so we should be able to get alerts when we're all doing something. Okay, let me follow you, Yvette. I didn't follow you. Okay, I followed you now. All right. Oh, Heidi, got you. All right, guys, thank you so much. Much love. Experience the power we call oneness. People organized with evolving responsibility. I am your host of Insights into You, Felicia Muhammad. Thank you. Your spiritual life and business transformation specialist. Take care.